Hi everyone. So my name is Joshua Goodrow, and I will be attending the University of Pennsylvania, or UPenn, this fall. I will be majoring in neuroscience, and just today I just wanted to spend some time to go over practice test 7 of the math section, no calculator, and I hope you find great value out of this session. And so let's begin. Question 1. The equation above relates the number of minutes X Maria spends running each day and the number of minutes Y she spends biking each day. In the equation, what does the number 75 represent? So to solve this problem, we have to first understand what the variables are. So X represents the number of minutes, and then Y represents another minutes for, so this would be biking, minutes biked, and then this was minutes running. And they equal to 75, which is what they're asking for. So what does the number 75 represent? So choice A, the number of minutes spent running each day. That's not correct because that's the variable X. Number of minutes spent biking each day. No, that's also wrong because it has both running and biking combined. A total number of minutes spent running and biking, that sounds correct. The number of minutes spent biking for each minute spent running, that's not correct because when you add the two quantities together, you get a total, which is choice C, because it says the total number of minutes spent running and biking each day. Question 1 is choice C. Question 2. Sorry. Question 2. Which of the following is equivalent to 3 times x plus 5 minus 6? So first, we would have to distribute the 3 inside the parentheses to get 3x plus 15, because 3 times x is 3x, and then 3 times 5 is 15, and then subtract the minus 6. You can't forget about that. And now you just have to combine like terms. So then it would be 3x 15 minus 6, which is 9. So it would give you 3x plus 9, which is choice C. Not that hard, it was just simple algebra. Question 3. Which ordered pair x comma y satisfies the system of equations shown above? So a major topic on the SAT is system of equations. You have to master system of equations. You have to master this topic because it comes up a lot on the test, especially in the no calculator section. So to solve this problem, they gave us x is equal to 3y, x is equal to y minus 3, and then they gave us x over 2 plus 2y is equal to 6. So notice how the x's are different and the y's are different. So I prefer to solve for y. So let's just solve for y. So we have since they gave us the what x is equal to, we can just use it and plug it into this equation. But first, before we do that, we have to simplify this equation to make it easier to work with. They give us x over 2 plus 2y is equal to 6, right? So we can multiply everything by 2 to get rid of the x over 2. So this cancels out to get x, and then you have to distribute the 2 to each part. So you get 2y times 2 is 4y, and then 6 times 2 is 12. So now you have that, and now we can use the first equation and plug it into the second equation that we have. So then we know x is equal to y minus 3. We can plug it in as y minus 3 for x plus 4y is equal to 12. We combine the like terms, we get 5y minus 3 is equal to 12. Just add 3. Both sides to get 5y is equal to 15, and then we know y is equal to 3. And since there's only one distinct value of, there are different distinct values for y, we know 3 has to be the answer. So it's choice B for 3. So we have to make sure that it works out, because usually I on the SAT I would check. So I wanted to show you that it works. So let's just check. So we have 0, 3, right? So let's try using the first one. This is a simpler equation. So x, which is 0, it would be 0 is equal to y, which is 3 minus 3. Does that work? Yes, it works. So that means that choice B is our correct answer. So this is basically it. We sometimes you have to do elimination to solve the system of equations problem. Sometimes you have to use substitution. So for this question I specifically used substitution, because I substituted the first equation into the second equation. Question 4. Which of the following complex numbers is equal to to 5 plus 12i minus 9i squared minus 6i. So we have we just basically have to combine like terms like we did with regular numbers. Imaginary numbers are numbers that don't exist, and they're also known as complex numbers. So we have, oops, so we have 5 plus 12i, and then we have to distribute the negative to both terms. We get negative I squared plus 6i. 5 plus 12i minus, and now we have to know that since they gave us I is equal to radical negative 1, if we square it, we just get negative 1. So then this would be substituted as negative 1, and then it would be plus 6i. Yeah, can't forget the I. And then you get 5 plus 12i. Minus 9 times minus 1 is just positive 9 plus 6i. Combine like terms. You get 5, and then combine like terms for this. So then you get 14 plus 8, 12 plus 12i plus 6i, you get 18i, which is choice D. That is choice D. So that's basically what you have to do. If it's I squared or I cubed or I to the fourth, you just basically simplify, and then you would have to combine the like terms with the regular, the real numbers and the imaginary numbers, and just make it as that expression. So that's question 4, choice D. Now, question 5. This is basic substitution because it just tells you to find f of what any number. So it gives us the function f of x is equal to x squared minus 6x plus 3 over x minus 1. What is the value of f of negative 1? So basically, you would just do f of negative 1 is equal to negative 1 squared minus 6 times negative 1 plus 3 over negative 1 minus 1. Then you get f of negative 1 is equal to negative 1 squared is just 1, becomes plus 6 plus 3, and then minus 1 minus 1. Negative 1 minus 1 is minus 2. Then f of negative 1 is equal to 6 plus 1, that's 7, plus 3 is 10, should be 10 over negative 2, which is negative 5, which is choice A. So that was a basic a question as well, just basic algebra, making sure the signs are right and everything else is good. So you just have to be careful with these type of problems, because these are free points that you have to be getting. Be careful and make sure to take your time. Take your time. Next, question 6. A company that makes wildlife videos purchases camera equipment for $32,400. Equipment depreciates, which means it decreases in value at a constant rate for 12 years, after which it is considered to have no monetary value, which means if it has no monetary value, that means it's $0. How much is the camera equipment worth 4 years after it is purchased? Okay, so we have to first find we have to make an equation. So since it's a constant depreciation, we know that is a line in terms of a line. So it'd be y is equal to mx plus b. They gave us b, which was the initial, which was y is equal to mx plus 32,400, and then they told us after 12 years, which could be our m could be our time. It'd be 12x plus 32,400 is equal to 0 because it has no monetary value. So then now we have to find how much it decreases per year. So then we have to subtract 32,400 on both sides. You get 12x is equal to negative 32,400 because it shows it decreases. And divided by 12 on both sides. So then you get 2, 24, 8, 7, 0, 0. So it becomes 2,700. Let me just check the math. 0, 0, 14, 0, 0, and then 0, 0, 7, 2. No, wait. Let me do it wrong. 0, 0, 14, 4, 5, and 0, 0, 0, 0, 7, 2. That's not right. What am I doing wrong? No, it has to be. Wait. So let's just do it this way. 27 times 10, which is 27,000, and then 2,700 times 2. 0, 0, 14 for 5. And then you get 27. Zero, zero, four. Yeah, so that works. It works. I don't know what I did, but you can do it this way. You can split it up to 10 and then 2. So that works. So it depreciates by 2,700 per year. So now it's asking how much the camera equipment is worth after 4 years. Since we know that, let me make this smaller. So we know y is equal to 27 x negative because it depreciates plus 32,400 because that's the initial. And then y is equal to negative 2,700 times 4 because it's the 4 years. 32,400. Y is equal to 0, 0. What's 4 times 7? 28. Carry the 2. 4, or negative 2 times 4 is 8. Negative 10. Guys, right? Because 0, 0, 8, 10. Right. It becomes negative, and then you just add. It becomes 32,400 plus. If you're adding a negative, it's just basically subtraction. 0, 0 becomes 114, 6, and 21,600. And that is our answer, choice C. And yeah, and that is choice C, $21,600. So first we found the slope. Now we found the constant value that it depreciates. We found that, and then after that we use the four years that they gave us to find what's the monetary value after 4 years with using the initial y-intercept. So then that's how I did that. But make sure you're careful with your multiplication and your division and your adding and subtracting, because a simple mistake can cause you to waste time and also get you the wrong answer. Question 7. Which of the following is equivalent to the expression above, right here? So they gave us, look at the commonalities between the choices. We have x plus 3 squared and x minus 3 squared. So if it's a plus b, so a tip I'll give you to solve this problem, if it's in a plus b squared, it's a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. If it's a minus b squared, then it's a squared minus 2ab plus b squared. Always keep that in mind. Always keep this in mind. So now, for example, if it's this, right? So if it's x plus 3 squared, this is the a, this is the b, this is the a, this is the b. So it'd be a squared, which is x squared, plus the 2ab, so 2 times a, which is x, b, which is times 3, plus b squared, which is the 3 squared, so it'd be 9. So then you would get x squared plus 6x plus 9. Now for this one, so basically we're just saving time and being more efficient with your work. So now for this one, x minus 3 squared, it would be a squared, the same thing. Since it's not plus, it's minus, so it'd be minus 2 times a, which is x, b, which is negative 3, or just 3, plus b squared, which is just 9, because negative 3 squared is just 9. So then it would be x squared minus 6x plus 9. And they're asking us to see which of the choices is equal to x squared plus 6x plus 4. So since this is negative right here, this is negative right here, this won't work. So this entire thing won't work. So this entire first term won't be a possible answer choice. We can get rid of C and D, because x minus 3 squared is just x squared minus 6x plus 9, which is not equal to the first two terms of x squared plus 6x. So it has to be this right here. So now, if you have x squared plus 6x plus 9, and you're trying to get it to x squared plus 6x plus 4, how do you, these two are the two different terms. So the thing you would have to do would be, you would do, if you add something, it becomes the greater, right? So you wouldn't add something to this. So obviously A is not right. And then if you subtract it, obviously it'll decrease the value. So it'd be x squared plus 6x plus 9 minus 5 is equal to x squared plus 6x plus 4, which is equal to this. So choice B. So that is our choice. That's our answer, choice 7. Question 7 is choice B. Okay, so basically you just have to know the tips of factoring and making sure you just save time and just concentrate. Question 8. Ken is working this summer as part of a crew on a farm. He earned $8 per hour for the first 10 hours. He worked this week. Because of his performance, his crew leader Sorry about that. Okay, so question 8. Ken is working this summer as part of a crew on a farm. He earned $8 per hour for the first 10 hours he worked this week. Because of his performance, his crew leader raised his salary to $10 per hour for the rest of the week. Ken saves 90% of his earnings from each week, which is the least number of hours he must work for the rest of the week to save at least $270 for the week. So first we have to know that he earned $8 per hour for the first 10 hours, which is 8 times 10, $80. And then the crew leader raised his salary to $10 per hour for the rest of the week. And then Ken saves 90% of his earnings from each week. So if he saves 90% of each week, so it'd be 0.90 x, because it's 90%, is equal to 270. So x is equal to x is basically going to be equal to 270 over 0.90, or 270, add the 2 zeros, and then it would be 90. And then you get 300 as the x value. So then you have to make an equation. So it would be $80 plus $10 an hour has to be at least greater than or equal to 300, because that is 90% he saves. If you save 90% of it, he gets 270. So then you would do 80 minus 80 minus 80. You get 10x greater than or equal to 220. And then divide it by 10. And then you get x is equal to 20, greater than or equal to 22. And which is the least number. So 22 is our answer, 22 hours. So 22 is our answer for choice, for question C. So basically you have to break down the problem and understand what each part is saying, and then just use that to make an equation and solve for what you're looking for. Question 9. Marissa needs to hire at least 10 different staff members for an upcoming project. The staff members, at least 10 different staff members, will be made up of junior directors who will be paid $640 per week, and senior directors will be paid $880 per week. His budget for is no more than $9,700. She must hire at least 3 junior directors and at least 1 senior director. Which of the following system inequalities represents the condition described if X is the junior directors, which is junior, and Y is senior? So at least 10. So it has to be at least. So at least, remember, at least is greater than or equal to, no more is less than or equal to. I have to keep this in mind. You have to keep that in mind. At least is greater than or equal to, and no more is less than or equal to. So at least 10 staff members. So it can't be A and it can't be D, because it has to be at least 10 staff members. There has to be at least 3 junior directors. This one's out. Oh. So this one's out because it's not at least, this is no more than. So our answer is choice B. There's our answer right there. But it also said will be no more than 9,700 per week. So no more than 9,700 per week. We could also use the first equation where it was no more than, so it had to be 640x, because that's the juniors, and then 880 for the seniors. No more than 9,700. no more than. So this one, it works out, this doesn't, and this one worked, but it didn't work because it was no more than for the total staff members, or at least that staff members. So our answer is choice B for question 9. So basically, know the key vocabulary, at least, no more than, at least, because they always show up with inequality problems, and they're just testing to see if you know the vocabulary and can have the variables in the right place for the right numbers. So for question 9 is choice B. Question 10. In the equation above, A, B, C, and D are constants. And the equation if the equation has roots -1, -3, and 5, which of the following is a factor of this? Which is basically right here. If the root is -1, the formula the equation would be x plus 1. If the root is -3, then it would be x plus 3. If the root is 5, then it would be x minus 5. And so these are all the factors, because you just do the opposite. Because then if you solve for it, if you set it equal to 0, you get -1, you get -3, and then you get 5, which are the roots. So basically, if they give you this, you just go with the opposite. So if these are the factors, you have to see which one matches. Not this one, not this one, not this one. So choice B. 10 is choice B, because you just have to go with the opposite, like I said. Question 11. Okay, the expression x raised to the -2 times y over y raised to the 1/2 over x raised to the 1/3 times y raised to the -1, where x is greater than 1 and y is greater than 1, is equivalent to which of the following? So basically asking for simplification. So you can bring down that if there's a negative on the top, you just bring it down to the bottom. So we can rewrite this, bring all the x's to the bottom, and then a y's to the top. You have to bring the opposite. And then you get, if you bring y to the top, you get y over, it becomes +1 times y times raised to the 1/2, and then it becomes x times raised to x squared times x raised to the 1/3. And then when you multiply exponents, you basically add exponents. You add exponents. So then it would be y over x, and then it'd be y. So 1 plus 1/2 is just basically 3/2, or 1/1/2. So it'd be y raised to the 3/2, and then it would be x. It'd be 2 plus 1/3 times 3. You get 6/3 plus 1/3. You get 7/3. Right. Wait, what am I doing? No, wait. Yeah. 2/1. Oops. 2/1 plus 1/3. Multiply it, you get 6/3 plus 1/3. You get 7/3. Okay, and then you get 7/3. So y is basically y is raised to the 3/2, or 1/1/2, and then x is raised to 7/3. So basically, it's not this one, and so but this could also be simplified as y times y to the 1/2 over, and this could be simplified as x squared, because it's 3 times 2 is 6, and then times x to the 1/3. Which is basically what we came down to, or like we simplified from. So this is basically y times anything raised to the 1/2 is just basically the square root of it, and then this is x squared, and then same thing. So this is the power over the root, so it'd be times the power inside, and then the root would be 3. So then it would be y times radical y, and then be x squared cube root of x, which is choice D. So that's why our answer for question 11 is choice D. This one's wrong because it doesn't equal to the 7/3. This is also wrong because it doesn't equal to the 7/3 on the bottom. So it's wrong. Our answer for choice question 11 is D. Okay. The function f is defined by f of x is equal to x plus 3 times x plus 1. The graph of x in the xy plane is a parabola, so there's something like that. Which of the following intervals contains the x coordinate of the vertex of the graph of graph of x? So from this we know f of x is equal to x plus 3, x plus 1. So we know the roots are -1. So these are the roots. So these are the roots. There's a trick. There's a technique that not a lot of people know. And the technique is that if you want to find the x-intercept of a vertex, you basically take the average of roots, because the vertex is always going to be in between. So if it's -3 and -1, it would be -3 plus -1 over 2, which is -4 over 2, which is -2. So which a negative has to be in between the intervals. And -2 is not in between this. It's not in between this. -3, it's in between this, but it's not in between this. Our answer is choice B. So that is a trick or a technique you can use. And then to find the y-intercept of the vertex, you can just plug in the x, or you can plug in the x value of the vertex and find the output of the y, and you get the coordinate. Question 13. Which of the following expressions is equivalent to, question 13. Which of the following expressions is equivalent to x squared minus 2x minus 5 over x minus 3? So this is a synthetic division problem. Synthetic division. So then be x squared minus 2x minus 5. So how many times does x go? If x squared divided by x is just x. And then you get x squared minus 3x, and then you subtract it, so it becomes this, and becomes positive, it becomes x minus 5. And then how many times is this x minus 3 going to x minus 5? Just once, plus 1, x minus 3, and then minus, it becomes -2. That's that, because if you distribute, so it becomes -5 plus 3, which is -2, which comes out to that. So then we know it is x plus 1 minus 2 over, you have it over by x minus 3. And that our answer is choice D. So basically for this question, just slow down with the dividing and making sure the signs are right, because if you don't have the signs correct, then you can mess up the choice or your answer, and then that could give you the wrong answer. So make sure the signs are right, or the signs are correct. Okay, for question 14. Shipping service restricts the dimension of the boxes it will ship for a certain type of service. The restriction states that for boxes shaped like a rectangular prism, which is a box, the height cannot, and the sum of the perimeter and height cannot exceed, which basically means no more than. That's what that means. No more than 130 inches. The perimeter of the base is using the width and length of the box. If the box has the height of 60 inches, then we know that the sum is 130 inches. So let's start with the height first. The height is 60 inches plus the perimeter of the base, which is the base is basically the rectangle, so it'd be the length and the width. Perimeter cannot be more than 130, right here. Since we know the length is 2.5 times the width, so the length would be 2.5 W. So that means, if we do the math right here, 2.5 W, and this is W, 2.5 W, W. The perimeter would be the sum of all the sides, so it would be 2.5 times 2, which is 5, and then plus 1 is 6, and then another one plus 7, so it becomes 7W. So it'd be 60 inches plus 7W, which is the perimeter, is no more than 130 inches. Subtract the 60 inches, you get 7W is equal to, is less than or equal to 70 inches. So then you divide by 7, you get W is equal to 10 inches, or no more than 10 inches, which makes sense because, which is choice A, because it has to be greater than 0 and less than or equal to 10, because and that makes sense because you can a dimension cannot be a negative number. A dimension cannot be a negative number, so that means it has to be greater than 0, which is why they all have started from 0. So this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong, because we found that it has to be less than or equal to 10 inches, which is choice 8 for 14. The last question for 15 on the multiple choice section. The expression 1/3 x squared minus 2 can be rewritten as 1/3 and then x minus k times x plus k, where k is a positive constant. What is the value of k? Okay, since we know it's 1/3 x squared minus 2, we can take out the 1/3 from both. You get 1/3 x squared minus 6, right? Because you, instead of dividing, we multiply. So if we're trying to take out the 1/3, we have to multiply everything by 1/3. It'd be 1/3 times the x squared minus the 6, because 1/3 times -6 is -2, which is how they got that. So then you have 1/3 parentheses x squared minus 6. Now they say that it's can be factored as x minus k, x plus k. This is the x, this is the x, and this is the k. So this would be 1/3 x plus. Since it has to be plus minus, it would have to be a radical, because then they have to multiply, because it's dots. Dots is difference of two squares. Since it's not a perfect square, it's still you can still get a square out of it. So it would be, so what's the square root of 6? The square root of 6 is just 6. So it'd be radical 6 and then x minus radical 6, because this is the k right here. You have to, and this is the x. So it's asking for the value of k. So the value of k is radical 6, choice D. So 15 was choice D, because you have to first realize that it's you have to take out the 1/3 from both terms, and then you have to use dots, or like this. You have to factor it completely, and you can't be tricked by it. And then so you would, if you correctly factor and correctly take out the 1/3, our answer should be choice D, radical 6. And then if you try to work it out, you get 1/3 x squared, because x times x is x squared, and then x radical 6, and then becomes plus x radical 6, and then radical 6 times radical 6 is just -6, right? And then so these two simplify, they cancel out, so you get 1/3 x squared minus 6, and then they distribute the 1/3, you get 1/3 x squared minus 2, which is how they got to the original. So that's how you do it. Now, so basically, so 1 to 15, so in terms of difficulty, 15 was the hardest question and 1 was the easiest question, and it increases in terms of difficulty. And so now for like after the multiple choice section part is done, now you have the free response, and then the difficulty resets again, where 16 is the easiest and the 20 is the hardest question. So let's go to the free response question. 16. If 2x plus 8 is equal to 16, what is the value of x plus 4? So a trick I learned was to see if you could make it not solve the entire question, the entire equation in many steps. You can just divide or multiply, or try to make this equation equal to this equation. So we can realize that if you divide everything by 2, you get, if you divide 2x plus 8 by 2, you get basically x plus 4, which is what they're looking for. What is the value? So if you divide the left hand side by 2, you have to divide the right hand side by 2. So if you divide the left hand side by 2, you get x plus 4, which is what the value you're looking for. And now if you have the answer, you divide that by 2, you get x plus 4 is equal to 8. 16 divided by 2 is 8, which is what they're looking for. So our answer, the value of x plus 4 is 8. You just try to get the equation that they give you into the equation that the value of the equation that they're looking for, because then it makes life so much simpler. You don't have to do 2x plus 8 is equal to 16 minus 8 minus 8, and then 2x is equal to 8, x is equal to 4, and then plug that 4 into 4 plus 4 is equal to 8. It takes a lot more steps. If you just divide everything by 2, you know that our answer is going to be 8 in one step. Second, sorry. Okay, 16 is 8. 17, geometry problem. Geometry. In the figure above, MQ and segment MQ and NR intersect at point P right here. NP is equal to QP. These are equal, and MP right here is equal to PR. So this means is an isosceles triangle. Isosceles triangle. So from this triangle, we know that sum of angles equals 180 in triangle. Right? So you do 60 plus 70 plus this angle right here plus x gives you 180. 130 plus x equals 180. X is equal to 50 because you have to subtract the 130 on both sides. And that's how you get 50 for this angle. So this is 50. Okay, so now we know these are vertical angles. Vertical angles are always equal. So this is 60. This also has to be equal to 60. Also, another thing to know is that this is a line. A line is equal to 180 degrees. So what that means, if you have to figure that value right there. So if this is 60, no. So this is 60, what is the value of this? It would be 180 minus 60, which is 120. So we have this angle right here. Let me redraw it. It's the isosceles triangle. So we know this was 120 from this calculation. And now since we know it's an isosceles triangle, both base angles have to be equal. So these are the base angles. Equal. So we know a triangle has 180 degrees, right? So it would be x plus 120 is equal to 180. Since both of these are equal, we can combine it as 2x plus 120 is equal to 180. Subtract the 120, you get 2x is equal to you get 60, and then x is equal to 30. We divide by 2. So when you divide it by 30, when you divide 60 by 2, you get 30 on both angles, the both base angles, 30 and 30. And what are they looking for? What is the measuring degrees of angle QMR? So angle QMR is QMR. Oops, thinner. QMR right here. QMR right here, which is the base angle of 30. So our answer is 30 right there. Okay, next question. The number of radians in a 720 degree angle can be written as a times pi, where a is a constant. What is the value of a? So to get the degrees from radians, you have to use the formula or the conversion factor pi over 180. That is the conversion factor. Conversion factor. So if there's a 720 degree angle, you have to convert from degrees to radians. You would have to do pi times 180, because then the degrees cancel out and you're just left with pi or the radians. This is in radians. So 720 divided by 180 is 4, but let me just double check. 4. 180 times 4, 0. 32, 3, 7, yeah, 720. Yeah, so it would be 4 pi. And then they told us it is written as a pi. So a pi is equal to 4 pi. See, it matches. So what is it's asking for the value of a. So the value of a, this. Value of a is 4. So like for these questions for 17, you just have to break down the problem and understand each part, what they were saying, and make sure you to draw figures because it helps with understanding it. And then for 18, you just have to know the conversion factor right here. Because if you know that, then you could solve problems similar to this question, question 18. Now let's say if they told you in radians, they told you it was 4 pi radians. And then they asked you to convert from radians to degrees. Then the conversion factor would be 180 over pi, because then you would do 4 pi, which is the radian in radians, times 180 over pi. So the radians would cancel, and then you would do 4 times 180, which is 720 degrees, which makes sense too. So the conversion factor from radians to degrees would be 180/5. So yeah, the value of A is equal to 4. Okay. Question 19. The graph of a line in the xy plane passes through the point 1, 4 and crosses the x-axis at the point 2, 0. The line crosses the y-axis at the point 0, b. What is the value of b? So the first thing we would have to do is find the formula, and y is equal to mx plus b. So first we would have to use the slope. So the slope is m, and it could be written as y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, 1, 4, and 2, 0, x1, y1, x2, y2. Would be m would be equal to 0 minus 4, and then 2 minus 1, which is negative 4 over 1, which is negative 4. So the slope is 1, right? From the slope formula. And then now we would have to find the y-intercept. Or we can just plug it into the point right here, or the point right here. So y is equal to negative 4x plus b. They told you what the value of x and y. You don't know y, right? So you don't know. No, first we have to find the y-intercept. Let's find the y-intercept first from the given point. Let's try 2, 0. That's easier. So 2, 0 would be used. Use point, given point, I should say. Given point to find b, which is the y-intercept. To complete formula from equation of a line. So then we would do that. You get, this is the x, this is y. It would be negative 4 times 2. B, 0 is equal to negative 8 plus b. B would have to equal to 8. So b is equal to 8. Now we can use the point that they're asking us to use to find the value of b. So then it would be y is equal to negative 4 x plus 8. And they told us 0 y. So it would be y is equal to negative 4 times 0 is equal to 8. Y is equal to 8, which is what our answer is. Coincidentally, that is our answer for choice for what is the value of b. And then if you do that, you get 0, 8, which is the y-intercept. Oh yeah, you could have done that. See, look, okay, I did extra work, but you didn't have to. So basically 0, b is the y-intercept, right? And that's what we were looking to find in step 2. Use points to use the point, use the given, use given point to find b, or the y-intercept, to complete the equation of the line, which is what they were asking for. So we could have stopped right here. We didn't have to do this work, but it just shows you how to do the extra work just to make sure your answer is right. But 0, b is basically y-intercept, so they're asking you to find the y-intercept of the line, which is b, or 8, I should say. So our answer is 8. Last question, question 20. The expression above can be written in the form of ay squared plus b, where a and b are constants. What is the value of a plus b? So first we're going to have to simplify. Plus 10, so you have to distribute. So you get 100y squared minus the 110 times 10, which is that 110. You add a 0, it becomes negative 1,100. Then you combine the terms, and you get 200y squared plus 7532 minus 1100. You get 6432. This is what you have after simplifying. And now they're asking for the value. So now this is also in the form of ay squared plus b, which is what it is, ay squared plus b. And now they're asking for the value of a plus b. So a is 200, b is 6432. So a plus b is 200 plus 6,432, and A plus B is equal to 6,632, which is our answer. 6,632. 6,632 is our answer. Let me move this aside. So this is our answer. 6,632. You basically have to combine like terms. You have to distribute the 10 and then combine like terms and then understand what they were, the constant that they were looking for. In this case, they were looking for A plus B. So you just find the value of A and B and combine it to get 6,632. And so yes, now we are done with practice test 7 of the no calculator section for the math. And I hope you found great value out of today's session, and hopefully I will do more sessions in the future. If you have any questions, reach out to Embrace Tutoring. You can also check out the TikTok channel.
Okay, so thanks for watching, and please remember to contact us at info@embracetutoring.com to set up any personalized private tutoring sessions you would like. Stay tuned for future videos, and best of luck with your studies. We definitely encourage you to visit our Instagram as well as TikTok pages if you have any questions along the way. Take care, guys. Best of luck with your studies.